I'm Laura Faye from Wytpod, and we have a special guest today, Isha from Ambrosia Ventures. I want to say a big welcome and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Let's jump right into it. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and your journey?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I was a researcher by trade, so I was doing a lot of metabolic and cardiovascular research in grad school, trying to figure out what exactly I wanted to do. I
Right,
was more into the clinical aspect, and then was in med school, and then realized that wasn't really for me. So
right.
that took on its own journey. So figure out what exactly I wanted to do. So went to project management, working in a lot of startup companies, and that's where I really like the idea of like, oh, people are coming to me asking a lot of questions, thinking that I know the answers, and I like when they trusted my own opinions on certain things.
Yeah.
So
What were some of the questions that you were getting? Was there like a running theme?
it was mainly some of it were technical, of course, but I was always getting a lot of the higher management team asking for my opinions. What do you think is the best move for this solution? What about this product line? So they would pick my brain, and then I would give them my own the way I see it. And then that kind of took its own, I guess, beast where I realized, you know what, this is something I kind of like. So I just
Yeah.
researched what that would be, because in my expertise. When I was doing a lot of clinical work, consulting wasn't really a thing in the life sciences world, from what I understood.
Right.
So
Yeah.
realized that is a thing.
Right. It
So
is a thing after all.
right, exactly. So after learning that, I wanted to do a deep dive and figure out how do I get myself into that. So
Right.
eventually I did. So I spent a few years doing management consulting for some big pharma companies, and then also for some larger pharmaceutical manufacturing companies. And then
Wow.
that kind of took its own realm and realized this is exactly what I do. Worked
Wow.
in the, worked for a consulting firm in Boston, and that gave me the opportunity to kind of learn a little bit more from, directly from these directors. And I had the opportunity that I could start my own. So there's actually someone in my own network that needed help. They came to me, and I'm like, you know what, maybe we can work something out. Maybe I can help you out with something. And the process was, it just came up, it presented itself. So and then from there, that's where I started my own company.
I love it. I love it. And speaking of your own company, would you mind sharing with our listeners a little bit about your company?
Yeah, absolutely. So Ambrosia Ventures, we're a strategic consulting and M&A advisory firm. So we specialize in life sciences sector, but anything in the STEM sector really. We're,
Right.
we really provide end-to-end solutions in regulatory affairs, quality assurance and compliance, R&D. But the whole thing is that we want to guide these life science companies and help them navigate complex landscapes that they might come across. So we want to be able to optimize their market entry strategies, let them understand a little bit more on the regulatory landscapes, just so we can help them achieve the growth.
Right.
So, you know, the name Ambrosia is a Greek mythology. It's based off the drink that gives you longevity. So where we see ourselves is that we provide the drink to help these companies achieve longevity in the industry.
Oh, I like that's good. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. What would you say makes your company different? What differentiates you from other companies that do what you do?
hmm So one of our key, I think, unique attributes is that we really escape from the transactional relationship that the traditional consultants usually see. So it's, here's the price, this is the project. What we do differently is that we really want to understand where these executives, early founders, CEOs, what they're coming from, their management team, and we want to believe what they believe. So we want to really understand their ethos, and that we can provide even a deeper understanding and even a deeper um, meaning for them, so we can help them take them to the next step. That way, we're just as involved.
So, in other words, you make it very personal.
Exactly.
And it's not a cookie cutter formula, it's tailored to each potential client, correct?
Absolutely. So we really strategize ourselves as more of that strategic advisory role. So we really want them to feel like they have someone they can trust in their corner, and that's going to help them progress to the next phase in their life cycle.
Right. That's a really, really good thing. And I'm sure that you want to let everybody know about this because you can have everything, but if nobody knows about it, right? It's like the best kept
Exactly.
secret. So it's
Exactly.
right, it's like the best kept secret. With that said, what marketing strategies have you tried that have been the most effective for you, and why do you think that is?
Yeah. So, I think that is an evolving question just because it
Yeah.
really did take some time to understand the market and the need. So a lot of it was just working in our network. So we started in network, so people that we did know, and then that kind of branched out to the out network. So people that we didn't know, connecting dots to dots. But if we're speaking on the networking piece of this marketing strategy, the biggest part was jumping into ecosystems. So what I realized is that, in the life sciences world, there's a lot of strong ecosystems. So like, the Bostons of the world, the Bay Areas of the world, they have a very foundational structure where there's a lot of founders, a lot of vendors, a lot of people that are making that industry flourish. So I
Right,
realized, it's very saturated. So, you know what, maybe we should jump into areas where, they're booming, but they need help.
right,
So that was where we jumped into like in the Michigan ecosystems, a lot in the Houston areas, and realized that there's a lot of need for what they need. So we just spread the word, did what we could. And then, alongside in parallel, we do a lot of blogs. So we write a lot of blogs to be
okay,
more of a thought leaders, just giving free information to a lot of early startup companies that probably don't have the funds, but they just need the help. So we really want to make sure that we are helping who we can.
right.
And yeah, it's worked so far. We've
Yeah.
recently we were named by Life Sciences Review as the top consulting firm 2024.
Wow, that's big. You
Yeah,
earned that. I mean, you earned that. That doesn't just get given out lightly. You
right.
earned that. That speaks volumes right there.
Absolutely.
I love that. And you could tell just in the way that you're talking and the way you're coming across, you can see your genuine passion. You could hear it, you could see it in your facial expressions and the way that you speak. And that's really, really important because it's personal for people, right?
Absolutely. And yeah, thank you for recognizing that because it definitely is a passion and I want to make sure that it's portrayed as that to potential clients that, what we do is genuine and we want them to, make the best out of what they can make.
Absolutely. Now, every business, every company faces challenges along the way. It's the roller coaster, right? As for
Absolutely.
you, what challenges have you faced and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, of course, even just starting on your own company, there's a tons of challenges. But from what I've seen collectively, the biggest one has been, the economy in of the life sciences industry. So a lot of funding wasn't really being placed for a lot of these companies. So a lot of great minds, a lot of great technology, but not able to advance it, meaning that they aren't able to pay consultants. So
Right.
that could have been tricky, but I think with those kind of challenges, it's you have to think outside the box, and that's kind of why I wanted to start this company. So being able to start outside the box, it helped me actually branch out and learn and speak to different other networks. So even though that was like the biggest hurdle, I was able to connect with investors and investment bankers and VC, so I can just establish a deeper relationship with them. So I think for every challenge, I always see a positive light, a silver lining.
I think that's such a great attitude, and that's probably one of the contributors to your success. Your
Yes.
attitude and looking for the good and learning from the bad and turning it into a good, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So if I handed you that crystal ball that we
Mhm.
all want, what do you see in that crystal ball as far as the future of your company? What are
Mhm.
your goals and where do you see yourself years from now?
Yeah, if I'm looking into this crystal ball, I'm seeing, Ambrosia Ventures, we're going to be more of a global footprint. So we want to be able to be established globally. So in the regions where you're not really seeing a lot of work, so in the Middle East or in Eastern Europe or in Africa, Latin America, the Caribbean, we really want to make a footprint and be on the forefront of these market trends, regulatory R&D aspects. We really want to help integrate technologies like AI, big data, and help these clients or help these companies establish more effective solutions. And I think establishing more strategic partnerships, improving processes, and so on and so forth. We really want to make sure that we're number one.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we strive for, right? In
Right,
life.
exactly, exactly.
One. That's really good. I'll leave with this. If you could give one message out to our listeners who are watching this, what would you want that to be?
It would be to just stay determined. You have a dream, you have an idea. I think you should stick with that. And even though it's an uphill battle, if you just believe in it every day, work on it every day, it's going to pay off in the future.
That's a great message. This was such a pleasure. I really enjoyed learning and listening about your company and your passion, what got you here, where you plan to go, what you offer. I see nothing but success ahead for you.
Thank you so much, Laura, and thank you for giving me the opportunity, to speak on this platform and give a little bit about us and our own story.
You are very, very welcome. Thank you so much for your time as well and continued success.
Thank you so much.
Okay.